Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Bintang Permata Putra and I'm here to represent Al-Furqon Senior High School. And today, in this occasion, I'm going to tell you the cursive folktale called The Nine Wells. I hope you all enjoy the story. Once upon a time, in a village called Kiri, there lived a beautiful woman. Her name is Nyai Tumengkang Sari. She's the most beautiful person around the place, not even just in Kiri, but in all of the land of Java. She's so beautiful that even the prince of the mightiest kingdom whom had taken over all of Nusantara, the prince of Majapahit, is falling in love to the sweet, sweet body. The prince, knowing of her, he decided to take the opportunity and decided to take on his horse and go to Kiri to find her. After he arrived at Kiri, he's going to quickly meet her and propose to her. He thought it's going to be an easy done. However, it's quickly been denied. Nyai Tumengkang Sari wants nothing to do with you, especially with your different belief, said the 66-year-old grave caretaker, Chris Ajit. Nyai Tumengkang Sari is a very religious person. She's religious because of her origin as the granddaughter of the Sunan Kiri of Sunan Raju. After that rejection, he promised that he will do anything for her. He will do anything to make her mine, to make her his. He will keep coming back to this place. Knowing that message have a note of threat in it, Nyai Tumengkang Sari decided to hide from Kiri and get out of there and hide in the small village quite away from it, to make sure that all of her family, friend, and herself to be safe. The prince kept coming to Kiri. They kept coming and coming. Chris tried to declare that Nyai Tumengkang Sari wants nothing to do with him. She's not interested with him. However, he do realize the consequence of declaring that. A war could ensue between the biggest kingdom on the town and the small village. Realizing the consequences, he's rethinking about how he should go around with things. He keep thinking and thinking, keep planning about what he should do next. Before eventually, Chris found an idea. So, you want to marry Nyai Sari that badly, huh? Well, she has one requirement that you need to fulfill. Chris told the prince that Nyai Tumengkang Sari wanted him to build 10 wells and make all of them in a single night. So, do you remember the story of Roro Jonggrang, where she asked to be built 1,000 temples by Bandung Bondowoso? Yeah, we play by that rule. And if you can't do it, you better just chicken off and run somewhere. There's no need for you to come here, said Chris, trying to intimidate him off. His plan was trying to intimidate him so that he will never come back. However, despite all of that requirement, that crazy requirement, he wasn't raised by it. He doesn't cower. He kept pushing forward. he's gonna make sure that she is his. He's gonna do everything in his power. So, in that day, he started to use all of his mythical power. He used all of it to make well one by one. Chris, realizing what he's gotten her into, felt absolutely terrible. How should I know? He has a mythical power behind his back. How do I prevent her from marrying him? This is bad. Chris started to sweat, finally realizing that this one final gambit is a complete flop. However, a voice, a whisper, can be heard from the bushes. Psst, hey, Chris, come over here. Chris turned and go to the bush, never to be seen for the entire day. And the prince, still continuing his work, building all of the world with his mythical energy. He built 1, 2, 3, and more. One by one, all of the well were built. And the last 10 one is built, and he's finally done. He was so excited. Finally, all the requirement is done. He's gonna wait for the next day and take on his horse. In the next day, he take on his horse and go to the place where when Sari is hiding. It took a couple of hours to get there, but he got there. However, what he find isn't Nyai Tumangkang Sari, but instead it's Chris, looking at him out of his bag, giving him. So, took you long enough, huh? You're walking for so much that she's already in your location this time. You better go away and hurry up before she's leaving again and completely disqualify you with all of that requirement, said Chris, while the prince turning their back on him. Chris then started to sweat before eventually crying and wish for the God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please help us. Please let this plan work together. The prince took his horses and go as fast as he can to the well. After he arrived, he noticed Nyai Tumangkang Sari sitting on a pile of rock. Well, took you long enough. Where have you been all this time? I'm waiting here for so much. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Where's the well? Said Nyai Tumangkang Sari. The prince is so excited to meet her. He wants to show her all of the achievement that he made. Though Nyai Tumangkang Sari instead insisting to keep sitting on a rock and tell him to go count himself. Nah, my leg is so tired waiting for you here that's like, I just want to sit here. You can count it all you want though. Go ahead. Because of this insistence, the prince count all the well himself. The well 1, well 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and something's missing. He count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it couldn't be. One of the well went missing. He's assuring himself that he made 10, but instead there's only 9. He kept counting over and over and over again, increasingly frustrated by the fact that one of the well went missing. Nyai Tumangkang Sari decided to taunt on him. What's wrong? Did you miss one? It's unfortunate. Though it's an agreement is an agreement, and since you failed your requirement, then take your bag, take your horses, and get out of here, said Nyai Tumekang Sari, commanding the prince to leave her and her village alone. The prince begrudgingly decided to take his horses and get back the way he came from, never to be seen in Giri again. After all of that smoke Nyai Tumekang Sari say, he finally breaks down, falls down on her knee, and thanking God. Oh my God, thank you Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Thank you so much for all of your help. This plan worked in the end. It turns out she made a plan with Chris. The plan was for her to wait for the prince to go, and after the prince gone, she decided that she's gonna hide one of the well with rocks, sand, and leaf, and make sure that it looks like just a regular pile of rock. And to make sure the prince doesn't double check, she's gonna sit on it to make it more believable. And Chris took over her part in her places so that the prince know that she's not running away. After all of that complicated plan, they finally celebrate together and then go back home and share the happy news. And that's how the story goes. I hope you all enjoy it, and see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.